Hey guys, welcome back. I've been gone for like literally a year. So, with me coming back, I actually wanted to do a review of this is actually a section of a podcast called By the Roommates, and it's about Kevin Samuel teaching you how to level up as a man. I watched a few seconds of this specific episode, and I thought this was a very good snippet to use as my coming back video overall. So I definitely I'll leave a link in the description to the other video for the most part, but let's get into actually watching this overall. So yeah.
Because you're making $14 an hour at McDonald's, you can go over to OnQ or Circle K or a convenience store and make another $14 an hour. $14 an hour one place is $28,000 one year. Then another 14, that's $42,000. Then you can actually be in a position to move out of your mama's house, move into an all-furnished apartment, get you a little sugar shaker or a bike, and get out there and start doing something.
So I'm gonna skip past that part for a little bit. So it's very good how it starts that. So the premise of, yes, you can have one job and get paid $14 an hour, or 15 actually now from the time that video was originally made, because at this point, even though like in my state, $18 an hour is considered like or $18 an hour, like around $8 an hour is the minimum wage. Pretty much everywhere pays 15. I think McDonald's, Ross, and a few other places, they pay pretty much $15 an hour. So $15 an hour has become the new minimum wage. And with that, inflation has been ridiculous, and a lot of places their rent costs have gone up. So his point is, it still stands where you can still, yeah, of course, work one job and make $15 an hour, $14 an hour, and then you can go to another place and work and do that same thing. Me, I've done that. I've worked at 1.3 jobs. I was living off like 5 hours of sleep for months on end, and trust me, it's not a good thing. It destroys you and burns you out. I still work two jobs now, but my second job is purely for like fun. I have a desk job. I sit behind a desk all day and I do that. And then I do my other side projects. But adopting that mindset from the years of doing it, which is one of the big things, the years of working all these multiple jobs and pretty much working myself to death, even though it didn't yield as much results as I would like to overall, I've gone to a point where it's like, okay, I understand if I just work and if I get an extra $20 a day now, that's 10K a year. That's the mindset shift you have to end up going to, which has helped me a ton, because since I've done that, my income has doubled, which is wild to say. From last year version of me to this year version of me, my income has doubled. And it's not doubled from one stream of income. I figured out other ways of doing that. And from taking this mindset, it's like, okay, yeah, you just get another job, or B, figure out another solution, which is for me, figuring out a way to make an additional $20 a day. If I figure out how to make an additional $50 a day, that's going to be even better. But that's the goal, because you have to understand, if you make an additional $100 a day, 365 days a year, that you make over 300K in a year. So small amounts. So for me, I normally aim for around $20 additional day, which I've figured out ways of doing that, and it's been great. So as far as just starting off in the beginning of the video, that is a great piece of advice. If you guys would like, you can put it in the comments below, and I'll actually share some of the ways that I've figured out how to make additional money for very minimal effort overall. But let's get actually back into this video as a whole. I just skipped a little intro section, and let's get back in this video, and I should stop talking.
Let's make him 30.
Okay.
30-year-old guy. He's staying at home. He working at a fast food joint, making 18 to 22,000 a year.
Okay.
Not a lot of confidence, not a lot of skill sets, but he wants to be a leader. He wants to have a happy relationship, and he wants to leave a legacy. What is your advice to a man in that position?
So I'll chime in on that for the most part, as I said, because this is only a 6-minute video. I think being able to recognize the situation you're in and understand your goals is the first step to making some sort of progress. Now, some of my old videos, it's been a very long time, but if you want to say you want to increase your life or get better overall, it doesn't really make sense if you're not doing the work, or at least willing to work towards it, whether it's faster or slower. If you're in a situation where you just have to work hard, or you want to be the person that breaks their family chains, at least being able to recognize this is what you want to do, and recognizing this is a very difficult path you're trying to pursue is a very big thing. But let's hear what he says as far as what you should do, and I'll chime in.
Stop digging. You already did stop digging. First thing, I'm big on therapy. But if you're in a position where you don't have a lot of money right now, every company you work for has an employee assistance line. You need somebody to talk to. We're not in a church like we used to be. Find someone who's a consultant pro bono. The second thing, because it has to start with the head. We can't get the head right, we get nothing. Second,
This is something I definitely agree with, is the aspect of going to therapy. Unfortunately, the helplines are, from not, I wouldn't say from my personal experience, but what I've seen, they're not pushed in comparison. They might have a sign up in your break room as far as, yeah, we help you for this issue and this issue. But overall, you're not really going to get anything super crazy from them. And depending on the company you work for, a lot of times the insurance itself won't even cover therapy as a whole. So you're kind of stuck there. Now they have other solutions. If you are looking for that, I would say definitely can look into like BetterHelp. I'm not sponsored, but I need these people. But if they want to, take it. So you have options such as BetterHelp, which is something you can go, I think it's like 10, $20 a month, which kind of gives you access to someone to talk to as far as a therapist. Because if you have really bad friends, you probably shouldn't talk to your really bad friends, because they'll just give you bad advice. But outside of that, back to the video again.
He's working full time at a fast food place. Mm-hmm. Good. I need you to have another part time job, because you're making $14 an hour at McDonald's. You can go over to OnQ or Circle K or a convenience store, make another $14 an hour. $14 an hour one place is $28,000 one year. Then another 14, that's $42,000. Then you can actually be in a position to move out of your mama's house, move into an all furnished apartment, get you a little sugar shaker or a bike, and get out there and start doing something. See, men, we have to work.
I'll chime in on that. I already said this, but something to start about when he went further into it is you really don't have to get that big of apartment. So like me, I'm a single man, living a single man life. You don't have to buy expensive things. So like me currently, I live extremely below my means, like extremely below my means. Like I can afford actually a 2-bedroom apartment if I want to at this point, because I've figured out how to make quite a bit more money. So I could. The question is, am I going to? No. Because how he said you should stop using debt, that's my goal. Destroy that. That'll be done with the next few months. Golden. But try to live below your means also, even if you get this extra money, because what's the point of getting extra money if you're just going to eat it, and then you get into this sense of financial, like you're stuck there and you can't do anything with it. So you're like, oh no, I make all this money, but I can't do anything with it. I can't improve my life as a whole. I can't do anything. So I would definitely say, yes, get an apartment, but try to live below your means. Safely, but below your means.
I cannot hear that I'm broke, and then you're only working 40 hours a week. That does not compute with me. You got to work. You got to work and get.
If you're able to,
getting paid for the hours. You know, here's the thing: that things will start correct themselves. Once a man puts himself in a position where his head's a little bit on straight, and it does not have to be perfect. You can't wait till this is perfect. You got to do all these things at the same time. Start getting your head on, getting your head together, get the hours up, and then you have to get a skill set. College ain't for everybody. It's not everything everyone needs. Get a trade. There are plenty of things to do. What is going to be useful? Get a trade.
So as far as what he said, college really isn't for everyone as a whole. Me, I actually went to college for the most part. Unfortunately, due to like financial issues with my family, I wasn't able to finish. I tried in the past to pay out of pocket to go even just one class a year. I tried that, and unfortunately, stuff happened. I'll dive on that story. Maybe if I make a Patreon, I might put that story on what exactly happened to stop me during that time frame. But stuff happened in life, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to push forward. But recently, for me, the options was going to actually a coding boot camp. So I went to a boot camp, did all my stuff there, and that's opened a revenue for me. It's upfront a little bit. It wasn't super expensive in comparison, but it helped overall. So, and of course, trade school, those mechanic schools where you can go and like, you can become a mechanic in like, I don't know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, or I don't know, whatever the time frame is. But at the end of the day, yes, college isn't really for anyone, but you have to seek some sort of higher education. And when I say higher education, it could be, if you want to be a plumber, plumbers get paid a lot. But higher education is in the base amount where everyone is. you aim right above it. Even a smidgen above standard humans put you miles ahead overall. But back to the video.
In something that's going to be useful. We have to get back to where we value blue collar labor. You know, I'm a big proponent of blue collar. I call them blue Henrys. You know, yeah, the white collar.
Break down what does Henry mean for people who don't know.
Henry is high earner, not rich yet. That came from Forbes. And see, the white collar men get all the shine, but you know, white collar men, it's a longer path, takes more to get to the end, and most small business owners are blue collar. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, truck drivers who own a logistics firm. There's a lot of opportunities. We mentioned Gary Vee. He wasn't a great student. He's a multimillionaire and owns a
Yo, I don't like Gary Vee being used as an example. Like, I understand Gary Vee's done a lot, and no disrespect to Gary Vee, he did amazing stuff, but Gary Vee's not a rag to riches story. He's not. You can use, in this situation, yeah, you can use him as an example as someone that's done amazingly well with what he's already had. He's built upon it and does an amazing job as building on what he already has. But the premise of, like, it's easier to make money when you have money kind of comes into play, not taken away from him. But like, he's not a rag to riches story, and hopefully this isn't what he's trying to say as a whole, which he normally doesn't. I mean, at the end of the day, what Gary Vee's done has been extremely amazing overall, and all the memes on the TikTok, I don't care what I call it, whatever. But Gary Vee's done a pretty amazing job. So yeah.
Owns one of the most prolific social media firms in the world. Get your head right, get your money, get you some sort of certification or skill to where you can actually start making yourself of use, because fast food is not a long-term thing. Then you got to start networking with other people and start working together. When you work with a group of people, one of the reasons my career went the way it was is because I was with a group of 7 people to where we all moved each other up.
I'll pause there just because there was a brief intermission. So, yeah, the people that you hang out with for the most part really do affect your life a lot. For me, I'm very, very grateful for my friends. Some of them I've just come back into their life after years and years of just being like isolated. So the people that you have as your friends overall are really, really good. And the reason why is because these are people that will hold you accountable, and they set kind of like the standard for what's acceptable as a whole. So for me, or the saying, like, you are the medium of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So I'm very happy about my 5 medium people, because they're all trying to be high earners in general, and they all have different wants and needs, whether it's the women in my life or the guys in my life. But if you're surrounded by people that don't want to do anything, unfortunately, even if they say they're trying to be supportive, if they themselves are not trying to improve overall, they might do things that might be detrimental to your growth, such as, they might be like, oh yeah, let's just go out all the time, let's go drinking all the time. No, I can't do that. I'm trying to do bodybuilding stuff, not professionally, but just in general. I can't do that. So luckily I have people that understand that and they respect that, and they hold me to a standard of how I should operate in the whole and how I should progress as a whole, and same thing vice versa. So back to video.
I only want you in the house sleeping, showering, and on the bathroom.
That's literally where my life is at this current point. And well, I'm trying to get these videos is literally me being at home. Like, I'm actually going to be leaving within an hour to go do stuff, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and I have stuff I need to do that I have to leave home to go do. And it's actually really nice because, like, I'm just always busy, and I've been, like, actually, if you see that right behind me, that's my whiteboard, and that just has a bunch of stuff that I need to do, or tasks I need to put my fingers in, far as more money overall. Words.
There's no reason to be at home. You got to get the work done, because here's the thing. Do that for at least 5 years. Put your head down, work your butt off, and you will look up, and the rest of your life will be brighter possibility. You have more
200%. Let me finish saying what he's saying, and then I'll continue.
Potential and brighter possibilities you ever thought you could have. Or if you continue to do what you do, you're going to continue to get what you got, and now you'll have no one else to blame but yourself, because at least now you've been given the direction. Now, from that.
So 100% agree. everything you just said. Because I, if anyone's known me, I have accomplished more in the past year and a half than I have in the past goddamn so many years. And it's wild. It's wild information wise, just because of the freedom I've been given to just go and do what needs to be done overall. So yeah, like I look at my budget and I look at my calendar, my time frame from doing things, and even if I mess up like a champion right now, as long as I'm like see proceeding going forward, which is the same for you guys, as long as you keep moving forward overall, like I'm golden, like absolutely golden, to at minimum stay where I am. Well, not physically where I am. I could, like I said, living below my means. But if I wanted to live in a better situation, golden there, like perfectly golden as far as that. So like, you just sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. Sacrifice is needed. Luckily, I'm now sacrificing for like myself instead of sacrificing for something that yields no results. But yeah, back to video.
That point on, you make adjustments. But I'm a big proponent in your rat pack, your group of guys you hang around with, mentoring and coaching. But those two things require resources and money.
Yes,
everything else I gave you is just up to you. That's the underlying thing. But if you are doing your work, following your why, your life will be fulfilling enough to where you can, whatever you attract, you'll attract like-minded people. And
100%. I'm gonna leave it here because this video is getting actually very long. It's around 15 minutes now. I said in the description, I'm gonna have the video down there so you can actually go watch this clip. And I do recommend subscribing to the Roommates channel overall, and then go listen to the whole podcast. But yeah, like-minded people, like there's a big saying in relationship world actually, where you are what you attract, which goes into everything, because everything in life is a mirror. Everything in life is a reflection overall. So me, I don't think myself, I actually think I'm super lazy overall. But somehow I'm attracting all these people who are doing a lot of things. Like, yeah, I'm doing a lot of things, but I feel like I could do more. Which technically in the past I did do a lot more, which burnt me out. Don't do that. But yeah,